Hello and welcome to CJC Adventures. Carl here, and today Brother Craig's with me as we've come to Aston in Birmingham in the English West Midlands to take a look at a property probably like no other within the West Midlands. We've come to Aston Hall. Built between 1618 and 1635, it really does take you back hundreds of years, with history such as the original owner, Sir Thomas Holte, who was known to be a bit of a wicked man. The name Holte is still known today, especially around the grounds of Aston Hall and around Villa Park, which was part of the property of Aston Hall, which is now the home of Aston Villa Football Club. It's also seen times of civil war and damage to the property, which includes a broken banister, which is still visible today after all these years. We're going to see that today and take a backstory tour around the actual property itself. We're also going to take a few moments to reflect on the ghost history which is attached to this property, such as figures being seen in windows and figures sitting in chairs. So, let's take a look at the very famous, historic and one of the most haunted buildings in Great Britain, Aston Hall. Let's go and see what we can see. A little bit of information of Aston Hall. The North Range. These brick foundations are the remains of the North Range, which housed the wash house, laundry, brew house and bakehouse, along with a dairy. So this was all those buildings, as you can see just here. This is all really what remains, just a few slabs of concrete, and that's all it is. Beautiful building from a long angle here. This is the main building out this part.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
It is. So it looks a bit creepy looking, but it's historic at the same time, doesn't it?
It does, yeah.
Oh look.
I'll send the name for me, Villa Park.
Oh, it's the old tin. Thomas Holte of Dudderston in the Warwick Knights. So when they put it like chiselled into the brickwork, don't they?
It's like a V, no, you eat.
That's the only way they could do it, eh?
Yeah.
Fireplaces they used to have years ago, eh?
Yeah.
The great stairs are the formal approach to the staterooms and would have been used by the Holtes and their guests. The spectacular staircase goes all the way up to the door to the roof where Sir Thomas would have entertained guests and shown off the view of his estate. King Charles I walked up these stairs when he stayed at Aston Hall in 1642, and as did Queen Victoria and Prince Albert when they officially opened the hall and park in 1858. Oh, royalty walked up these stairs, eh? Oh, proper royalty. So it was built between 1618 and 1635 for Sir Thomas Holte.
Yeah.
And it's one of Birmingham's most iconic buildings. It was sold in 1817, so they moved out then, the old family. And this is one of the staterooms.
Yeah.
This does actually look like a dining room, do it for the day.
Yeah, it was fireplace, yeah.
Look at all
Something that's like, for the old west,
pieces of history over there. Queen Victoria. pronounced it some days, isn't it?
Okay, yeah.
1626 it says, isn't it?
Yeah.
Artifacts are there from yesteryear. It does actually give you that spooky feel though when you come in here to think about what this house has said and what's happened here. The civil wars happened here, and it's marvellous to think, really. It's marvellous to think conversations, what was had in here more than many years ago. I can understand why people say like that this is haunted. I can definitely believe it, because it does give you that feeling. As soon as you step in here, the old paintings on the wall. It was actually the main living room, this was then.
Yeah.
Thomas Holte.
Yeah.
This is where what you'd see a living room today.
Yeah.
Cannonball damage.
Yeah.
In December 1643, the civil wars came to Aston. Sir Thomas had reluctantly identified himself as being on the side of the king, and so the hall was besieged and attacked by parliamentary supporters from Birmingham. A cannonball smashed through the wall behind you and through the staircase, leaving the hole in the wood you can still see in front of you. The repercussions of the event would affect the Holte family in several generations. They kept the damaged balustrade intact as a reminder of their role in the civil wars. As you continue your journey through the house, you'll discover more about the Holte King Charles I and the siege of Aston Hall. What do you think the cannonball is made from? You see one in one of the next rooms. And that's the broken banister.
Yeah.
It's been left as it was all them years ago.
Yeah.
From the civil wars. It's marvellous to think of it. You can still see like that's where the cannonball went through. Look, you can still see the round hole.
Yeah.
Where it split and broke. Look.
Yeah.
Just think this. See, it's even better there. Look how it's been split in and knocked in. They've just left it like that, just to show you like the effects of civil war attack this house then. During the civil war it was part of a big thing. So you might see a ghost on the stairs. Great dining room. The table is set with dishes fit for a king. On the 18th of October 1642, King Charles I stayed the night at Aston Hall just 5 days before the first battle of the Civil Wars at Hedge Hill in Warwickshire. So, King Charles I stopped in here.
Oh, okay.
So they used to set it all out. They always had chicken or bird because it was just cheapest way.
Yeah.
Just the cheapest way of,
Yeah, that's right.
doing. And fireplaces. People still have fireplaces today in homes, don't they? Never gone out of fashion, have they? Creepy doorway. Just gives you that feeling of you could see some one day walking past here. So this is costumes, are they? Costumes to show the future generations.
Yeah.
It's Oliver Cromwell, well-known name, portrait of him, painted by Peter Lely, 1618 to 1680, oil on canvas.
So please lift this object to feel its weight. On the breastplate, mid headboard, must be blown candle. Please twist the legs. On the mattress, musty. Please this object.
Everything seemed really heavy in them days, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, the Aston Hall siege. On the 18th of October 1642, King Charles I came to Aston Hall and stayed the night. Charles was leading the Royalist army to London, but was met by Parliamentary army a few days later in Edgehill, Warwickshire. This was the beginning of the many years of fighting. So they'd be looking out these windows, wouldn't they? Oh, people are coming to get us. After many years of fighting, in 1649 the king was defeated and put on trial for treason. Charles was condemned as a tyrant, traitor, murderer and public enemy, and he was executed at the banqueting house in Whitehall Palace. After Charles's death, England and Wales became a republic called the Commonwealth, led by a Council of State. Scotland and Ireland joined the Commonwealth in 1651, following further battles against the parliamentarians. I do like the sailings though.
Oh yeah.
Nice sailor. Maybe that's that they use. Another one of them fireplace types like.
Yeah.
Going through the house, don't they?
Yeah.
This is the King Charles chamber. This room was where King Charles I slept on the night of the 18th of October 1642. In August that year, Charles had declared war on Parliament and was now on his way to south to London with the army of 13,000 men, including Sir Thomas. The eldest son, Edward be wounded by the Battle of Edgehill on the 23rd of October and he died in August the following year. I think that was his bed, Rory. That's where he slept in it. King Charles I. Still about today, yeah. Cats on the walls. And this is the steep staircase that takes you up to the highest point of the house into the attic. And these are part of the stairs that lead you up to that part of the house. And there is an actual story which is attached to the house about a young servant boy who stole food from Thomas Holte, and he knew Thomas Holte was a very strict man and he was classed as his master, and he basically knew the consequences of stealing food, especially from the main person of the house, and he couldn't face the consequences, the young boy, so he decided to take his own life. And his ghost has actually been seen here in the area where he took his life on a very regular basis. Oh, soldier figure there, them. Got the muskets here, look. Withdrawing room. Like in 1679, Sir Thomas's great-grandson Charles inherited Aston Hall. It took Charles 16 years to clear the estate's debts, which had largely been increased as a result of the civil wars. This is the cards on the table as well. Another fireplace here, look.
Yeah.
popular thing, all they?
Yeah,
Fireplaces.
yeah.
Oh.
Like a chaise long for them days, like that.
Oh, it is, similar to what you'd have today.
Yeah.
Oh, Ben Osborne, the long gallery.
Yeah.
It's part of the gallery part where they'd all meet up, wouldn't it? It's a bit like Parliament out, I suppose, for one of these areas. Quite a dark area of Aston Hall. Oh, this is the long gallery then.
Yeah.
Many meetings have gone on in here, have they? They're the floors as well, all bumpy, are they? Looking building now, I'll say that. Really nice, eh? That music they would have played in the day and all. It's another nice fireplace, eh?
Oh. Yeah.
It's similar to stained glass windows there as well.
Yeah.
Apparently there's a grey lady what comes in here then crying. And a woman in green, apparently. Oh, luxury and fashion in the 18th century. An inventory of the contents of Aston Hall from 1771 reveals that the house furnishes included silver tableware, mahogany and lacquered furniture, Persian carpets, Indian textiles and Chinese and Worcester porcelain. This room explores some of the different types of objects with the Holtes and other wealthy families were buying and using in the 18th century. I bet you any money you think about like the Holte family and all the people what come here lived here would never have thought all these hundreds of years later, such as we and everybody else comes to admire what they lived through. You know what I mean? They would never have thought that, would they? They think, oh, somebody might admire us one day. But of course, anyway, I'm here. Lowbury Holt, his name. Actual playing cards then, wasn't it, from the 17th and 18th centuries. Actual real playing cards, like cards, still like cards today, don't people? Master Charles, passage room. His wife and his daughter, Mary Elizabeth, seen in the portrait above, are unhappy about Lister's will. They tried to contest in court in 1773, but the will was upheld. The dressing room, this would be. Every room would have a purpose, wouldn't it? Yeah. Just living room, dining room, everything. Oh, that grandfather clock there.
Oh.
It's nice, eh? I can just imagine the beds in them days was very uncomfortable. They've got to be very hard because of, for some reason, I mean nowadays beds have improved, you can get all sorts of beds, but there you go, there's another fireplace. They smell like about it, a lot of fireplaces. Light come on when I walked in here.
Yeah.
Switched on. More on when I come in here, just switched yourself on. Oh, the Red Chamber. After Aston Hall was sold by the Holt family in 1817, it was leased to James Watt Jr., the son of a renowned engineer. Oh, James Watt?
Yeah.
Engineer, right.
Yeah.
Looks like quite a comfortable bed there, I don't know whether it is.
Yeah, okay.
Imagine sleeping in here at night. Someone pulls the blankets off you. Oh, it's another grandfather clock, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the design of them now, them cupboards.
No, I took some way doing the days.
Yeah. So it's good banisters, aren't they? And people still do have these pictures hanging up down there on the wall.
Yeah.
It's furniture, isn't it? It lasts a lifetime, wouldn't it? Mm-hmm. James Watt Jr. lived at Aston Hall from 1819 until his death in 1848. He was born in Scotland in 1769 but moved to Birmingham as a child after his father, engineer James Watt, went into business with local manufacturer Matthew Bolton. The firm of Bolton and Watt specialised in making steam engines and played a key role in developing this new technology. It's well known there around the Black Country, the Midlands, West Midlands, well. A small dining room. After James Watt Jr. death in 1848, Aston Hall stood empty for many years and local people became concerned about the fate of the house. A committee chaired by Birmingham preacher George Dawson was set up to save the hall, and a committee established the Aston Hall and the Park Company raised funds to buy the house through a sale of the shares of guinea each. In April 1858 they paid a deposit of $3,500 to acquire the hall and 43 acres of park land, aiming to pay off the remainder of the debt by April 1860. Queen Victoria opened the site on June 18, 1858, accompanied by her husband Prince Albert. It's nice, isn't it, if they can. So when it gets in disrepair, right, and it's nice when they save something like they say.
Oh yeah, it is definitely.
I mean, when they say it's haunted, but people like to come here for the history as well, don't they? So.
Oh yeah, of course.
Oh, it's that's the model of the house. It's quite nice, don't it? Like a bronzy colour, eh? This is the entry part, this way you come in. And where you go out. Cadbury's roses. Still out today, I mean, still have a blue box, don't they?
Yeah, I do have a blue box in there. In a tin now, are they?
That's it now.
I've got that.
When Aston Hall first opened as a museum in the 19th century, it contained a wide variety of different objects, including many taxidermied birds and mammals. The earliest displays were created by local taxidermist Aaron Franklin and included a diorama of monkeys eating crabs while being stalked by a leopard and crocodile. So these are more real stuffed animals. Of course, say you couldn't do it today. There's a lot of cruelty laws out and protection laws for animals, for every animal really out there. Yeah. But that was a real tiger. It would be a bit upsetting to think about, couldn't it? It was a real life tiger.
Yeah.
Fox there and elk. Cattle. Everything like a wild cattle.
Yeah.
So they found these here, don't they? It was opened as a museum to the public.
Yeah.
A library, or glasses on the table.
Yeah.
I think the Express and Star was out quite then, was it? But I covered Birmingham, did it, Express and Star?
No, I haven't got any answer to it.
So,
No books on that.
I think so. It's where they do all the cooking, you know.
Yeah.
And sit in a big fireplace, and, you know. I bet it was warm in here, were it, and all? Can you imagine them sitting here and all the steam everywhere coming and just sitting here, cooking and cleaning and getting ready for the day, and servants. And the servants would eat together when Sir Lister lived here. About 6 or 7 servants, 12 men in livery, a cook, 5 maiden servants. It's like the lower ceilings out there, didn't a pheasant hanging up for dinner there, look. Rabbit hanging up on the table. The eggs and all, look, and what they mix things up with. There's a mouse on there. That's what you get out. Might be a rat, isn't it? It's all the day to eat game and rabbit, duck and pheasant.
Yeah. Real.
All brass stuff, look.
Strange stuff it is, isn't it?
It is it, lasts a lot longer.
Going to spot in the kitchen.
Kitchen.
What do you think the cook is making for dinner?
In the 19th century, the cooks in great houses were usually male. But in 1749, Sir Lister Holte was employing a female cook. Their yearly wage was £10. So around £10 a year. Apparently that's the original fireplace, that is.
Is it?
Original fireplace. They'd lift all the things up with that, wouldn't they? And it's a nice piece of furniture, though, eh? It is. They put all the stuff, eh?
Yeah.
Brasses and stuff. Lady Holt Garden. In 1699, Sir John Percival, after spending a night at Aston Hall at Christmas, reported that the house was an excellent, pretty, large seat, but very much exposed to the wind and manner of all ill weather. So it catches the weather then.
Yeah.
It would do in them days, the weather was wussy, wouldn't it?
Oh yeah.
This was Lady Holt's Garden then. I've actually seen figures of people in windows around here. You can look online, they do show you what they feel like is a figure in the doorways and stuff like that. I've got to say it's a beautiful building, but you can understand why people do say they have seen figures and ghostly aspirations and stuff like that round here. Which you get with every house, of course you do, but older houses you're always going to get that more. So it's the way they built them years ago, really. You know, they don't build them like that now. Say all of this would be manicured. As you can see, it's like an older fashioned garden what you'd see in hundreds of years back. Bell tower there. Wind vane on it. And that's it for today on CJC Adventures from Aston Hall in Birmingham. It's been great to tour this very historic building, lots of history, and of course Sir Thomas Holte, who was a very aggressive man, wasn't he? But both he and his family's name is still remembered at Villa Park, just opposite Aston Hall, with the Holt end. And a lot of people have said ghosts are here at Aston Hall. It does give you that feeling. We didn't see anything today, but not to say that you wouldn't if you visited here again. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and please subscribe. Click on the subscribe icon, then the bell, and you'll be notified when each video is uploaded. And feel free to share the video and leave a comment. Until next time, look after yourselves and each other, and goodbye for now.